everybody, I'm Joey Evans, and today we are going to take a look at Castles of Burgundy Special Edition. Not really just the Castles of Burgundy Special Edition, we're going to mention that and how it looks and everything, but we're going to go into the Vineyards Expansion, which was included in this, and a lot of people are curious about. So here's a quick overview before we talk about the Vineyards Expansion. Here's a quick overview about how it's played. Okay, this is a real quick overview of the Vineyards Expansion, which is included in the Castles of Burgundy Special Edition. There we go. This is the main thing that I think people are excited about to see what the Vineyard Expansion does. I'm not going to go exactly into Castles of Burgundy. A lot of videos out there that shows how that game is played, but this is a brief overview about the Vineyards Expansion. Pretty much, you're going to take this and you're going to place it at the edge of your board. I'm not putting this board out there just because of space sake, so you can see everything here, but everyone's going to have one of these kind of off to the side of their board, and you're also going to have the Vineyards market over here. Let me tilt this a bit so you can see all these are lined up right here, and all of them have a die here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, what this is going to do is after you get your die, this is going to give you something else to get. Instead of working off the main board there, you also have the choice to get some of these vines, or these vines for your vineyard. So once you get one of these, you're then going to take it and you're going to place it right here, along with your other ones. Now, there has to be space for it to fit there. So, of course, there's going to be one other tile there, and it's got to make sure you fit, or you have to discard to make sure it does fit. So, for example, I could use a 6 to get this and place it here. But also, there's a market here sitting right in front, and the market is going to be the same way as you get the other tiles. You can spend 2 silver coins to get one of these and take it. And then once you go from here, that's one action it will add to all the actions at your choice, is taking one of these double hex tiles. But also, one of the actions you can do is place a double hex tile from here, once it's here, in your vineyard, which is right here. And what is your vineyard? And you always have to start on the bottom row right here, which you'll notice right here, you've got a 1 and a 4. So it'll take a 1 and a 4 to drop your double hex here. But once your first tile is down here, you have to branch out from that. So everything has to be attached there. But now also, when you place it down, then you also get whatever these icons here are underneath it, and you're going to get that ability. You can do this in any order you want to, one then the other. So you can perform on these. Now, all of these you've probably seen before in different places of the game, so most of you will know, but there's a couple of new ones. So one of them is, for example, this right here. This one means that you can actually pull one hex tile from that central black depot and then put it into your area right here on your board. And then the other one right over here is you could do the same thing, except you could take a vineyards tile and place it over there again, right over here in your empty spaces on your board. So those are 2 new ones. The other ones you have probably seen other places in the game. So you're going to place your tiles out here just like this, all through. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but what you will notice right here is as you go forward, you're going to keep branching up and up. One big thing is if you ever cover an entire level, like for example, if I cover, let's see here, if I cover this level right here, just like that, that is when I actually get to grab one of these scoring tiles right here. All of these. Now again, these tiles here are acrylic and they're mainly cardboard. These are the upgraded tiles, just so you know. So this right here, these are the Vineyards bonus tiles, and you'll notice all the different grapes are matched on here. But what this does is this will allow you to score that at the end of the game. So if you've gotten this, you get to grab, say, we're going to go ahead and grab one of these. All right? And we keep going up. We also cover this one. Then we're also going to grab right here, grab these. So you keep going further and further up, and you've got these for in-game scoring. So that's going to add to your in-game. So now in-game, these will allow you to score the largest, or whichever one you choose. You probably choose the largest connected vine. And it is going to have right here, you're going to see right here, the size of the area is going to correspond with different victory points here. So, for example, say you've got this right here. This is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 of the yellow grapes. So you're going to go right over here. We've got 4, size of 4, and that's going to score us 10 points. And then right here, I've got 2, and 2 is going to score us 3 points. Now, say I had a second one of these. Well, I can't score the same group twice. So if I had a second one of these, I'd have to score another group of yellow grapes somewhere else on the board. It might not be as large. Okay, so that's it. That in a nutshell is how you do the Vineyards expansion and what it adds to Castles of Burgundy. So let's send it back and see what we thought about it. Okay, so Castles of Burgundy, again, the special edition was one that when it came out, I think most of you were probably like me. You're like, I don't really know why this needs a special edition because it's just fine the way it is. But, well, let's be honest, it's Awakened Realms. These minis are, I'm not going to go too much into detail. I'm not going to review the minis because they are what they are. They're Awakened Realms. So they're incredible. You're going to see them and you're going to know whether or not you need these in your life because they're gorgeous. So you've got all the different minis for everything. And on top of that, you have got the different terrain pack, which is going to be all the different, not just the castles, but you're going to have all the different buildings and things that go out. One thing I will say about those is it does slow down the game a bit because you are pulling the tiles out, dropping them, but you have to then replace them with the buildings. Now, when you do that, it makes just a beautiful picturesque area right there in front of you. So it looks really good, but it does kind of add an element that slows it down. But if you're playing several players, this can be done in between turns. As you have the tiles out there, you're just switching them out to get the actual matching building. So it doesn't add that much. But again, is it something that you want? Do you want a box this big sitting on your shelf for Castles of Burgundy? Well, I'm not going to review it because only you know that. Because if you like Castles of Burgundy, it's a no-brainer. They look really, really good. But now let's talk about that Vineyards expansion. The Vineyards expansion, it's one of those things that I wasn't sure how it would go, but it does one thing that it kind of opens up the game. Because having that right over here, it adds a really fun element. It's kind of like you have Castles of Burgundy, and then you decide you're going to open a winery. So it's Castles of Burgundy meets viticulture. So you've got that little vineyards over here that's going, and there's so many different elements that I do like about it. For example, those double hexes, when you bring them over into your holding area, that adds a nice little element about figuring out a good timing thing and interesting decisions, because once you take those doubles in there, it takes up the majority of your holding area. So because you're doing that, that is something that you're not doing on this main board. So you have to weigh the fact that, listen, I'm going to move this over here. That's going to limit the tiles I have or have to make me get rid of one. And then it's going to be another turn before I get those out where I want them to go in the vineyard. And because of that, a lot of these I see out here are going to be gone. So because you're going to be focusing on this, on these few turns, somebody else may get ahead of you on getting a certain color filled up. And it may mean that you're not going to finish that up as early as you would like to. So that itself is a very interesting give and take to see how much energy you want to put towards this vineyard or you want to put towards the main board. And because of that, it does open up those decisions. I really enjoy that because then it's got other people that are also watching these vineyards, and they're also watching your vineyards. Because as you know, if anything, any type of movement like that, when you try to get those areas together, it really gets high points quickly as it goes up. So they're going to watch the grapes that you need and make sure you don't get too wide of a group. Because if so, they're going to try to really hate draft, take that one that you need if it's a double of your color to make sure you don't get it. So it makes them all of a sudden try to watch this too and balance back and forth. And that I really enjoy with that too. It's got so many different avenues. Then on top of that, once you pull these and then you put them back, you're going for your groups. But not only that, you're going for those actions. Those actions are pretty interesting. They can do a lot. They can swing back and forth because there have been times where I place double hexes out really only to get those actions because I'm like, that would be really beneficial to be able to pull that hex back over to my holding area. So those can actually kind of add a cascading element. And it really, again, I like the Vineyards expansion because it does not overcomplicate the game, which is something that I don't like when games do. They don't break the game, but they kind of make it to where it's no longer one of those that hits the table easily. This right here, it's a very easy thing to explain. And it looks really good right there. And again, it opens up the decisions. And I think it really is what I think this game needs. So is it a necessity? No, nothing is. But would I ever play without it if I had it? I would not. This for me is one that is almost for me an essential because I really, really enjoy this. So I'm giving this a 9 for the Vineyards expansion. So if you do like Castles of Burgundy, and if you like it, you're going to know whether or not you want these beautiful, beautiful Make Your Own pieces. But this expansion, I think you should try because I think you'll be surprised. I think it adds just a little bit to that side. And hey, who hasn't wanted a vineyard and a castle? If you have a castle, invite me over. I'm Joey Evans. See you later on the channel.